Hey everybody, welcome to my Friday bonus show. And you have no idea how many times I had to say that over and over and over again. I'm having one of those days where I'm just, can you tell I'm a professional? But yeah, so welcome to my Friday bonus show. And for those of you just joining us, the purpose of this show is so that I can interact with my listeners just a little more often. Now, I normally have a regular show that happens on every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And that's where I normally have guests come in and we have a long talk. And it's hard for me to answer questions from my viewers because those are live and interactive. But it's hard for me to answer questions from my viewers because I'm in the process of talking with my guest. But a lot of people want to know more about me. So I thought, hey, why don't I just create a bonus show every Friday? And I'll answer questions and whatnot. And, just have a little bit of fun. So these are just short little bonuses every Friday. Yeah, all right. So I have a whole list of questions that my viewers have asked. And so I've recorded them all. And so I'm just going to answer a few tonight, and then I'll answer a few next week and so on. So hopefully you've liked my answers and hope we have a little fun. All right. So let's get on to the first question, shall we? So the first question is, how did you start out? Well, I started out paintball in 1989. I was always into paintball. Or not paintball. I was always into playing guns when I was a kid, like playing soldier, cops and robbers, that sort of thing. And as I got into high school and whatnot, obviously you can't do that because lame. But doesn't mean I didn't want to. I was just where I was at. So at 19, I was walking downtown Oshawa, which is my hometown, and a brand new store opened up, and it was called Mad Mike's Paintball. And yeah, I was hooked. Right that week, I bought myself a Nightmare Competition short barrel. I bought myself some UVX goggles. I bought myself one of those big black PMI masks. I should probably break that out of storage and show everybody. I think people would find it interesting. I painted it all myself, so it had tiger stripes on it, or what I thought was as close to tiger stripes as I could get. And then I started playing paintball in the Ganaraska Forest, which is here in Ontario. It's about an hour away from me, and the field was called the Great White Bear Hunt. And it was kind of ahead of its time too, because it had natural sand pits, and so they created a speedball field in this one sand pit. But instead of it being like hyper tubes, what they did was they took tires and they stacked these tires like tractor tires and whatnot, and then because it was a sand pit, they just filled it with sand. And so these things were just these giant monoliths that it was great. I didn't like playing in sand because getting sand in your gun and scratching it all up, that sucked. But other than that, it was a great field. And the fields were huge, especially the long field. And it had like a sand ditch right through the middle of it that was massive. So yeah, that's how I started playing, and I never looked back. Next question is, where do you see paintball in 5 to 10 years? And where do you see yourself in paintball in 5 to 10 years? That's a good question. I think that as far as where I see paintball in 5 to 10 years, I think the mechanical movement is really picking up steam, and I think it's going to become more. I think it's going to be bigger and better, and I'm very excited about that. You've got the Iron City Classic, you've got a number of other classics that are happening, which are also mechanical based. You've got the Woodsball World Cup that's now in New York, done by Kevin Donaldson and Jerry Bronsfield. You've got the Woodsball Series, which is part of that, which is happening in England and Croatia and all these other places, done by Marcus Davis of the UK Predators. So I really think that the mechanical movement is just getting started. It's not at its pinnacle, and I think that with the mechanical guns being a little bit slower, because you have to have the fast fingers, they're a little more I'm not going to say reliable, but you don't have to worry about getting your boards wet, and you don't have to worry about all sorts of things. I think that the mechanical guns are going to just keep building and building, and I think that's where a lot of paintball is going to go, just because there's all these pivotal tournaments that are happening. And I think that it's only a matter of time before the mechanical movement actually applies to scenario games and big games as well, because you've got all these guys with these incredibly fast mechanical guns I think that's where it's going to be. Now, as for where I see myself, well, Fred Schultz and I together have started a company called Stronghold Paintball. I'm really hoping that takes off. I am really having a lot of fun with John Amadea doing documentaries and writing for Paintball Media Magazine. Thank you, John, for the opportunity. I appreciate it. And I'm really loving my podcast, and I just see my numbers getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So in 5 to 10 years, I expect to be doing the same as what I'm doing right now, except that hopefully I can afford a little more, travel a little more, and just hang out with you guys more, have more fun. That's where I want to be. That's what I want to do. And 10 years from now, I'll be 60. So, too fat, too old, and too slow to really play tournaments. But I'd really like to do some big games. And I think that, this is going to sound funny, I would love to get a 4x4 side-by-side truck kind of utility vehicle and turn that into a tank, and then just start going to big games and be the driver and just socializing with all the players, and just, have Popular Unknown or Stronghold on the side and just be a tank or an armored personnel driver. I think that would be a blast. Just get a chance to hang out with everybody, play with everybody, but not have to push my body too hard. So I'm really looking forward to that. So hopefully in 5 to 10 years, that's what I'm doing. But I'll be with you guys. So that's where I'm at. And next question. When are you going to come down under and play ball on the bottom of the world? All right. So first chance I get, I'm coming to Australia. I've talked to a lot of people, including John Amadea, and they've said that their favorite paintball experience was actually going to Australia to play paintball, be it tournaments or whatever. So I think that that would be a blast. And like I said, with Fred Schultz and I creating Stronghold, and by the way, the full name of the company is Stronghold Global Products, and keyword in that being global. So we want to make sure we get our products to as many countries as we can. We're going to be a small company, don't get me wrong. I'm not looking to take over Virtue or Planet Eclipse or GI Sports or any of that. Just a small, fun company, but we want to be global and we want to travel. At least I know I want to travel. And so hopefully I will be in Australia trading paint with you all very, very soon. I don't know if it'll happen this year because I don't know if the funds are there, and then there's that whole COVID thing. But yeah, as soon as I can make it, oh, I'm coming. I've got friends down there like Tim Summer of Push. I really got to hang out with him again. Have you seen his Facebook with the stuff he barbecues? Oh, yeah, I got to come to Australia just for the food. Anyway, yeah, soon. All right, so last question. What mistakes did you make when you first got involved in paintball, and how should a new player avoid them? That's a really hard question because I started in 1989, and paintball then is not paintball now. So the mistakes, they're not really the same. But the only thing I can say is that when I started playing paintball, I was 19 years old, and I took everything too seriously. I'd see somebody get hit, and oh, I was in a rage. Oh, they wiped, or oh, whatever. And I learned over time that just because you see the paint hit the player does not actually mean the paint hit the player. It could have hit a twig and broke. It could have missed entirely. Like, I can't explain it. When somebody takes a hit, like a good solid hit, and it breaks, even if you wipe, there's still a little bit of a trace. You know what I mean? Like, there's still something. And so I know over the years I've gone to people that I knew that I'd hit, and I'd looked at their gear, and there's not a trace. Obviously, I saw it wrong, or I misunderstood, or whatever the case may be. But you got to learn to relax. I think that was my biggest mistake. It took me a long time to learn how to just relax, let it out, you know what I mean? Woosa. But yeah, so that would probably be my biggest advice, because paintball is all about mistakes. Like, you make mistakes, you get better, you learn from them, right? But yeah, I guess my biggest mistake was not knowing how to relax, being a little too intense, being a little too competitive. And the best idea you can do is just chill. So go to the older players, watch how they act, and well, maybe not all the older players. Anyway, that's my advice. Yeah. All right. So that is my bonus show for this Friday. Before I go, though, I would like to add that if you are shopping online and you need paintball gear, make sure you check out Valken.com, and that's in the United States. Check out Valken.ca in Canada. Yes, we in Canada have our own webpage now, and it's awesome. And then if you're in England, check out Valken.eu, because there's a Europe one too. And while you're checking it out, if you see something you can't live without, make sure you use my discount code, which is Maguire10, Maguire 10, and that will give you a one-time discount of 10% off. How awesome is that? You just enter my name and you get a discount, and it's on their webpage. Now, to be clear, I'm not 100% sure that that discount works in the Europe or the in Valken.eu. I think it does, but I'm not sure. So enter it anyway. If it doesn't work, sorry, I do my best. But it definitely does work in the United States, and it definitely does work in Canada. So that is my gift to you, 10% off. Once only, though. So best thing I can suggest is if you find something, call your friends, say, hey, do you need any pods or do you need anything else? Add it all together and everybody gets a discount because you get to use it once. And that's, by the way, once per person, not just once and then it's gone. So all right, so that's my show for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next Friday. And don't hesitate, or I shouldn't say don't hesitate. Please make sure you check out my regular weekly show, which is Wednesday night at 9 p.m. And I go live on Facebook and here on YouTube. Definitely check it out here on YouTube. Apparently you can do VR. That's awesome. I got to check that out myself. But anyway, yeah, I'm here on Facebook, I'm here on YouTube, and I'm actually have a Twitch, all under Popular Unknown Paintball Podcast. So, till next week, thanks for watching. Play with passion, everybody, and keep your paint dry. Ciao.